Morning, everyone. Today, our team Gamechangers, consisting of Ethan, Ashiana, myself Aditya, and Ishan, will be presenting our venture planning tool with the focus on the minimum viable product or the MVP. Before we move further into the details of our venture, it's important to first understand what an MVP actually means and why it plays a critical role in launching new business. A minimum viable product or MVP is the simplest version of a product that allows entrepreneurs to test their business idea with real customers. Instead of investing a lot of time, money, and resources into building a complete product from the beginning, businesses first develop a basic version that includes only the core features necessary to solve the main problem for the customers. The purpose of an MVP is not to create a product. Instead, the goal is to learn quickly from the real users. By launching a simple version early, businesses can collect feedback, understand customer needs, and determine whether their idea actually has market demand. This approach helps reduce risk and prevents companies from spending large amounts of money on products that customers may not want. For our project, we followed the same principle. In simple terms, our MVP helped us answer an important question. Is this idea valuable enough for customers before we invest more time and resources into scaling it? With this MVP approach in place, we were able to test our venture in a practical and efficient way. Now that we have explained the concept of the minimum viable product, we will move forward to show you why we used Shopify for the MVP.
Hi everyone, I'm Ishan. So, for our minimum viable product or MVP, we decided to build the prototype of our business using Shopify. So, the main reason for this was speed and practicality. Instead of spending months developing a fully customized website or investing a lot of money up front, Shopify allowed us to launch a functioning online store very quickly. So, this aligns with the idea behind an MVP, which is to test the core business concept with minimal time and resources before committing to a full scale launch. Another reason why we chose Shopify is that it has very low startup cost. For the first 3 months, the platform only costs about $1 per month, which made it a very low risk way for us to experiment with our venture idea. More importantly, Shopify allowed us to observe real customer behavior. Instead of just asking people if they like our idea, we could actually show them our website, which is a working website where they could browse different products, look at pricing, and go through the checkout process. And that kind of interaction gives much more meaningful feedback than just asking people about their opinions or getting them to finish surveys. And using Shopify, it'll also allow us to quickly adjust things like the layout, product descriptions, and pricing based on the feedback we receive. And this flexibility is very important in the MVP process because the goal is not just to build a perfect product right away, but to learn from customers and adapt quickly. So, overall, Shopify served as a practical and cost effective tool that helped us test our venture idea in a real world environment without needing major technical development. And now I'll pass it on to Ethan to give you a little glimpse on what our MVP actually looks like.
Hello, my name's Ethan. So, talking about what our MVP looks like, we included product listing, pricing, checkout page, and basic branding. So, obviously, that being an MVP, the goal was not to make it perfect, but usable so that we could see how potential customers react. Shopify itself is very good for designing websites. I mean, like, even the minimum viable product does look very good. So, here's what it looks like. We obviously got our product page, and you can scroll back and forth there, as well as joining our email list. We can email potential customers and send them different discounts and reviews and stuff like that, as well as a cart. So you can obviously add as many as you want. You can pay with PayPal, and it's a checkout itself. So it does look quite good. I personally like it, but we'll be talking about how our interviews went in the next slide when Ashiana speaks to kind of see where we went with that.
Okay, next up is our interviews and results. We did ask some friends and family to get a little look at our website, check it out, see what they thought. And we got feedback as well from that. While most of them were very positive, we also did have some criticism towards that. Some people saying that it was too busy. Some people didn't like the prices. They thought we should have added more things. Some of the things they don't think we should have, things like that. So our next steps will be to adjust accordingly by changing some of the designs and adding some features. We'd also like more feedback from our peers. That would be very greatly appreciated as well, because then we can also hear what you guys have to say and then change where we think would fit accordingly. So we will get started on that as soon as we hear people's feedback, and then also get feedback from other people as we go along. But other than that, that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for listening. Again, when we do get the time to have other people give us feedback, we'll change it, our websites, add things, add more to our social media so people can also see that way, and then hopefully go from there. So that is it. That is our website. That is what we are doing. Thank you so much for listening, and that is pretty much it. Thank you.